welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Just the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Hot Toys Star Wars Attack of the Clones Jango Fett. If you do enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Jumping right on into this review, guys. Man, am I excited for this one. Yes, I am normally excited for most toy reviews that I do on this channel. Why? Because, well, I buy all my toys, so obviously I should be excited because I'm spending my own money on them, right? But this guy is different. I still spend my own money on him. He still is a product that I bought. However, Jango Fett is my all-time favorite character in Star Wars, and so now having him in this form as a hot toy, man, am I excited. And does he look beautiful? You know, this is what I was expecting when I first bought a hot toy, and I wasn't quite met with this sense of awe and amazement, but this guy definitely straight out of the box has that wow factor, because just the chrome look and finish to his armor, the weathering, the detailing, just a work of fucking art. It literally looks like they shrunk down Tamora Morrison, and well, he's right here on the turntable for you guys. Now, he does have quite a bit of pleather, as you can see right there on his pouches and his holsters. And so I'm sure a few of you are thinking and wondering, aren't you afraid and worried about it? Well, yes, I am, because obviously we all know what happens to pleather and stuff. However, as I just stated, this guy is my all-time favorite Star Wars character, so I'm going to enjoy him for as long as I can while his pleather is still in the best state that it can be. And who knows, maybe down the line I can find someone that does an alternate, like sculpted pouch belt and sculpted holsters, just so I don't have to run into those issues in the future. But hopefully that issue is very far in the future, and we'll deal with that when we get there. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and take a look at all the great stuff that this guy does come with, because he does come with quite a bit. Now, this guy does retail for about $285, so it's about $3 something with tax and everything included. So yes, a pricey figure, considering that the Batman and Superman Justice League 2-pack is essentially about $247 to about $260 a figure. This guy alone is $300 almost on his own. So quite an expensive figure. Unfortunately, the armor plating on him is not die cast. That is not where the cost comes from. Instead, it comes from a lot of the great accessories that he does come with. Now, I will say he is lacking in the hands department, but everything else, he's definitely not lacking in. So talking about the hands, why don't we go ahead and take a look at those. So of course, in package, he comes with a pair of fisted hands. He does get a pair of trigger finger hands, which he is currently using so that he can hold his West Star blasters. That's how you know I really love this character. I know the name of his guns, and if you guys have been long followers of this channel, you know I really don't know gun names, especially Star Wars gun names. So confusing. And you do get a pair of open hands right there, and well, that is essentially it. You get some fisted hands, you get some trigger finger hands, and you get some open hands. That's it. So I guess we should move on to the alternate, I guess I should say helmet piece before we move on to the alternate head, because he does come with an alternate top helmet piece right here, and as you can see, it is dented in right there, coming from when he hit his head on Slave One, or I'm sorry, Jango Fett's starship, for all you people that get offended by the name Slave One. But yeah, so they did include this dented helmet. I will never probably use this, but it is attached via magnet right there, so it's a pretty clean swap out. You can barely tell that it even does it. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the alternate unhelmeted Jango Fett Tamora Morrison head. And look at that right there. Now, I have heard a lot of people say it doesn't have the best likeness to him. Now, I feel like the Commander Cody one has a really good likeness to him. This one, in certain light and angles, it doesn't, but in certain, it does. You do also get his Comlink headset piece right here, which he uses when he's flying Slave One in episode 2. So let's go ahead and fix this on top of his ears, put it on there. And once you actually put this on, it actually helps the likeness. So he does tend to look more like the actor Tamora Morrison right here than right here without the whole headpiece. And this is actually quite odd in my opinion, because like I said, they do have that Commander Cody, which really does have a good likeness to the actor, and all they really would have to do was change the hair on that one. As with all Hot Toys, they do include an extra set of wrist pegs right there. You do get 2 separate jetpacks for Jango, so you do get that classic one that he is wearing on his back currently, as well as this smaller one that he uses later in the movie. Now both of them do have this piece up top that releases, so it's like the rocket, and then he does come included with this fire effect, which you actually just plug this. Wait, I think it goes the opposite way. Well, I don't think it actually fits this one, because you can see it just doesn't fit it too well right there. So this one actually is just meant for that jetpack, so we'll go ahead and take a closer look at that when we pull that off. But as you can see, this one does have a removable missile as well. So next up, you do also get some jetpack blast effects, so you can go ahead and attach that to the bottom of the jetpacks right there, so it is able to fit on both. So moving on, we do also get a few little trinkets. I don't quite know exactly what all of this is. One of them is a door splicer, and the other one, I completely forgot what it's called, but I believe this one's the door splicer. This one looks like it would be a door splicer, and this is another bounty hunting tool. They do also give us that tube of worms that Jango uses to try to assassinate Padme at the beginning of episode 2. However, it is painted a solid black, unfortunately, so there's no detailing of the worms or anything in there. You do also get a flamethrower effect. Now I will show you guys how to attach each of these things, because it seems like in most of the reviews of this guy, they show you the effects and everything, but they don't actually show you how to attach it. And I could not find the instructions for this guy for the life of me. And after countless videos, I finally found someone that explained it, and I was able to do it. And as I was putting them away to bring out to the garage to do this review, guess what I noticed at the bottom of the tray? The instructions taped to the bottom. Yes, I'm still new to Hot Toys, guys, so I apologize for that. You know, Mezco usually just throws the instructions just there. So that's what I'm kind of used to, but I'm learning. So like I said, I will show you how to attach each of these things, because you do also get this straight line right here with the grapple hook right there. So this does also attach into one of his gauntlets. And you do also get that blade that he uses to stop his descent after Obi-Wan pushes him off of that platform, I guess you would call it. Now these tubes would just go right up into the sleeve and stuff. So like I said, I'll go ahead and show you guys how that works. And last but not least, we do get his poncho, which I was really excited about. Not so much so that I could display him, with it, but because I can display my 501st Trooper with it. If you didn't know, in the Tarkovsky Clone Wars series, there's a scene where you actually see some clones in some ponchos. Future editing Jesse, enter the picture right here. So yeah, guys, that's why I was excited to get the poncho. But also, the other cool thing is having this unmasked Tamora Morrison head. Well, he's a clone, he's the father of the clones, so technically I can pop my 501st head off and pop this on, and then he can hold the helmet, and there you go, you have an unmasked clone. So a lot of great options with this guy, which is another reason why I did decide to go ahead and pick him up. But yeah, guys, before we actually pull him forward to take a look at all the stuff that he does have on him and try to work with the gauntlets, he does come with one other thing, and that is of course a base and a flight stand right here. So you do get the typical Star Wars base. It does say Star Wars Jango Fett. And then you do get that typical Hot Toys flight base where it does go up and down. So if you wanted to make it, a waist grabber right here, you can, like I have it right here. The only thing I will say is that you have to be super careful with Jango, because as you can see, he has pleather galore just right in those areas where you would grip him with those stands. And so I personally go right under the belt. There's another kind of wraparound underneath it, but it isn't pleather. It's more of like a harder plastic, or fabric soft good. It's not pleather, so it's a lot more durable. So that's where I go ahead and choose to put the waist grabber for him. But yeah, guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and pull him off the turntable and take a closer look. Alright guys, so now we have them all pulled forward so we can take a nice closer look at all the great detailing in this guy. Like I said, an amazing chrome finish to the armor plates, plus some good weathering, not only to the armor plates, but to the gauntlets as well, the helmet, and of course, the jetpack. Now the cool thing about this jetpack is that these little things right here do move at the bottom, only on this one, not the other one. Both jetpacks are magnetic, and he does come with these little clips. Unfortunately, you don't really need them. I've seen a lot of reviewers say that the magnet's not strong enough to hold it, but it's pretty damn strong. So real quick, let me go ahead and put him down so I can show you guys this. Remember, I was talking about the rocket firing out of here, so we can go ahead and show you that now, since I do have this one right here. So you plug this in right down here. This will plug in up here, and voila, you have a rocket firing jetpack. So yeah, that's pretty damn cool. Remember, I was telling you guys about the helmet. It goes right here, just connects via a magnet, just slips on, and there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that original headpiece back on because that's the one I prefer. Taking a look at the pouches, none of them do open or are useful. That's why I said I'm probably gonna try and find someone that can sculpt me a belt for him right here. Once again, his holsters are pleather, and they are a bit of a smaller, tighter pleather. So I would highly recommend you not constantly putting in his Westar blasters and taking them out, inserting them and taking them out, and putting them in and taking them out, and putting them in and taking them out. I feel like that's really going to wear and tear on the holsters. You know, for me personally, since I'm done with my review picks for this guy, I don't think I'll ever return those blasters back to those holsters. So taking a look at his gauntlets, because like I said, a lot of the other reviews that I saw kind of touched upon like the effects and everything, but they never actually said how to attach them. And if you're like me, you can't always find the instructions, or you don't care to read the instructions and you'd rather just have someone tell you how to do things. So first off, like I said, for this one, if you want to attach that blade, you just remove this. It is attached via pegs right here, as well as magnets. And you can also remove this little piece right here, which we will come back to in just a sec, but I do want to attach that so I don't lose it. If you do want to attach the blades right here, all you would do simply is see these hoses and this shirt, tuck them in right there, push them in a bit, and then bring this around his elbow, attach at the pegs, and right there you have the blade. So quick, easy, and simple like that. If you do want to attach that elongated rope, hold on, let me get him to stand so that way we can take a look at some of his other accessories. So if you do want to attach this to the gauntlet, the grapnel rope, by the way, it is a long die cast piece of wire, so it is not bendable. You would take the original one or even the one with the blade, and you would just remove this tip right here, which is essentially the same tip right here, as you can see, because this is essentially where it sits when it's not in use. And then you can go ahead and poke that through, and it kind of just sits in there kind of loosely. It doesn't really like lock into anything, it just sits in there, so you can't really turn it upside down. He kind of has to be just pointing upwards for it to stay like that. So yeah, there's that. I'm trying to see, is there anything else? Oh yes, the flamethrower, because this one was definitely a challenge when I first tried to do it. This one I highly recommend you taking off the hand and removing the gauntlet, because this will give you a better ease at taking out that tiny little piece right there, and then going ahead and attaching the flamethrower effect right there. So it's a little difficult at first trying to get that piece, but like I said, if you remove the gauntlet and then try to take it off, it will come off. So let's go ahead and put that piece back there so we don't lose it, and return his gauntlet there. And since we do have this hand off, let's go ahead and take his Westar out and take a closer look. So as you can see, it is very well done and very nicely well replicated to the movie itself. You do have some nice little gold inlays right there inside, a nice little blue tint to the handle like in the movies, but also even just a little bit of dirt and grime on it. Not so much weathering, just a little dirt and grime. So yeah guys, all in all, such a beautiful figure in my opinion. I'm super happy to have added him to my collection, especially like I said, with him being my favorite fucking character in all of the Star Wars universe. So with that being said guys, why don't we go ahead and take a look at his articulation. As soon as I can pop his hand in, there we go. Now that his hand's in, we can go ahead and take a look at his articulation. He will look all the way to the right, he will look all the way to the left. In terms of down, he will look down that far. In terms of up, he will look up all the way, which is good because he does have a jetpack, so he does need that ability, so that way when he's flying he can get that really cool flying look pose. Unfortunately, this guy does have a fat suit underneath, so it does limit his articulation just a bit, not as much as that Death Watch Mando, but it doesn't mean he won't go all the way to a T-pose, just slightly under. With all soft good figures and stuff, you have to be super careful when moving the arms and the legs, so he will only go for it that far from the fat suit, and also this shoulder pad underlying piece right here, which is also pleather unfortunately, but he will go back a little bit more. He does come with double hinge elbows, which does get a little hindered by these gauntlets, but if you move them up a bit you can get it in a little bit tighter, but as you can see he gets in pretty damn tight. Rotation at the wrist, if I could just hold the gauntlet. Rotation at the wrist, hinging in and out, up and down, whichever way you have that ball peg facing. He does have some very slight mid-waist rotation right there, but once again, be very careful with this guy. A lot of pleather on him, a lot of tight fit clothing, so not too much mobility right there. No ab crunch forward or back really, especially because of the armor plating. Taking a look at his leg articulation, he will kick out basically up to there. I don't want to stretch it any further than that, especially when he's kicking forward. You have to be super careful because these things do tend to get tight around his thighs, and it is pleather, so you got to be careful with that. He will kick back, not really at all. Taking a look at his knees, they are double jointed, so he will go back that far. And last but not least, let's take a look at his ankles. They will go down that far, up that far, and a nice ball rocker hinge. So yeah guys, all in all, like I said, my favorite character in the Star Wars universe. That wraps up his articulation. Alright guys, so that is my review of the Hot Toys Star Wars Jango Fett from Attack of the Clones. What did you guys think of this figure? Are you going to be picking him up? Go ahead and rate him down in the comments below, 1 through 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And also, if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and type down in the comments below Fett. That way I know you made it this far and you're enjoying the content. Also, if you want to and you can't support the channel, please check out my Patreon link down in the description below. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool pics that I took of this guy. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a great fucking day.